that's right. Cloud enabling businesses innovate. How? I'm sure you would love to know. And that's exactly what you will learn ahead in this current session. Very happy to welcome right now Rucha Nanavati, Chief Information Officer, Mahindra Group, in conversation with Vaishali Kasture, Head Enterprise Business India and South Asia, Enterprise, Mid Market, and Global Businesses at Amazon Internet Services AISPL.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Vaishali Kasture, and I head the enterprise segment for AWS in India. And I cannot be more delighted. I have a guest with us today, Rucha Nanavati, who is currently the CIO at Mahindra. She has a vast amount of global experience. She has worked in India, in the UK, in the US. She's also worked across a plethora of industries, high tech, manufacturing, retail. What's also interesting about Rucha is that she's passionate about creating an engineering culture that fosters innovation and drives business outcomes. She's also extremely passionate about promoting women in technology and leadership. So a very, very warm welcome to you, Rucha.
Thank you so much. Delighted to be here.
So I'm going to have a couple of questions for Rucha today. And I'm going to start with my first question, Rucha. Encouraging more women in the technology sector has been a sort of a very important topic, very topical over the last several years. However, there still exists a huge gap today. What was your initial spark that inspired you to take up technology as your career path? And what are the myths that you would like to dispel about being a woman in technology and a leader in technology?
Thanks for a great question. I think so. I'll tell you about the turning point that came for me. I'm an engineer. I studied in electronics and communications, but in third year I took a computer class, and that I've never looked back. I fell in love with coding, programming. Never looked back, and that has given me a career doing what I love. Be able to make some money doing what I absolutely love. I call myself the girl who codes. Don't get too much time these days, but still at heart, I'm the girl who codes. So it has been rewarding. It has been impactful. It has been cool and fun.
Yeah.
And I think some of the myths that we come across is that you have to have a PhD in math or something. You don't. The fact that technology is everywhere today, in every aspect of our lives, every industry, every company, every business, there are so many different roles in technology that we can all adopt and plan for and train for. Trust me, you don't have to have, you don't have to be a math whiz or a, absolutely geeky kid to be this way. Also, I would say fight the unconscious bias that says women are not good at technology or they're more suited for some other kinds of role. Not true at all. We're good at everything. And technology is absolutely cool.
Absolutely.
So I would never subscribe to anybody who says, women or young girls should not go into a technology career. In fact, it's quite the opposite, I would say.
Absolutely.
Quite the opposite at this point.
Absolutely echo your thoughts, Rucha. You come more from the engineering side. I am another classic example. I am a part of a cutting edge, technology organization. I started my career 20 years in banking, and I pivoted to the technology world. Of course, I'm not an engineering expert. I'm more of a commercial leader. But having made this pivot myself, I feel if I can do this after 20 years in another industry, I am sure every woman out there can aspire, for a career in tech. So thank you for sharing your story. I love the part that you still say, right? You try to stay connected to coding, and that's what keeps you excited, and honest. So great insights there, Rucha.
Yes.
I know you have some interesting anecdotes growing up. So would you like to share with our audience something a little bit about you that other people largely don't know?
Let's see. I was always a little bit rebellious growing up. Somewhat of a handful girl, I guess. And never took a difference of responsibility or work or anything with my brother. Never took that. That was not okay with me. I may or may not win every fight, but I always did put up a fight. Some things you don't know about me, maybe my plan B, if the tech career had not worked out, I'm an amateur artist. I paint. So, that's the right and the left brain both sort of working in harmony, hopefully. So I enjoy that quite a bit as well.
Phenomenal. And +1 to the rebellion. I was also like that. I would count the chores allocated to my brother and say, he's doing so much, I'm going to do so much. But we need girls like that. We need women like like that in the society. But I love the fact that you are drawn to art, and like you said, left brain, right brain. When we look at technologists and engineers and leaders in that space, you don't normally associate art. So that's another bias, I think, or myth, I would say, that is busted.
Very true. Very true.
Cool. So let me move on to my next question, Rucha. Cloud has become an integral part, of our businesses today. Can you throw a little bit on light on how Mahindra's cloud journey has been, and what are the benefits you are experiencing or expect to experience in the cloud adoption journey, and also sort of what are the drivers for your cloud journey?
So fundamentally, Mahindra's cloud journey is about leveraging cloud to accelerate our strategy, and the strategy is aligned to business growth. Fundamentally, that's the core of it, right? Now, our tech strategy for business is around digital. It is around data, modernization, and cybersecurity. I would say, large 4 pillars. The driving factors are plentyfold. Whether it is agility and setting up digital platforms, as I said, every business is all about digital now. New agile working models, setting up, fast and first time right innovation, innovative environments, enhanced customer experience, employee experience. We're equally excited about employee experience as well. All of this being enabled by cloud. I'm not even stating the obvious about scalability, flexibility, security, high availability, but what that enables is the story, right? From modernization perspective, we're moving to cloud not just as a geography change. It is about transforming from an architecture perspective to build microservices architecture, APIs, and we are modernizing from front to back, from customer-facing layer all the way to core transaction layer. So we have agility in everything we do, and we want to take advantage of the modernization and the aspects of cloud that are otherwise not available.
Understood. No, that's so well said. Rucha, typically when you start talking about cloud benefits, people talk about cost, etc. But I like the fact that that is integral anyway. But working backwards from the journey or the experience that you want to give your customers, and then all of this becomes a byproduct. And that's also very that's the way we at Amazon also look at it in terms of customer obsession, working backwards from what is really important for the customer, and then planning and executing, like you said, the ability to have the agility to modernize, to be a very digital business, because that's what's needed. This is a decade of digital, but I love the fact that you work backwards from the customer, and if it is cloud or anything else, you will enable and empower that to happen. Thank you for that, Rucha. I'll go to my next question. I think this is very topical. Since the outbreak of COVID, which started almost 2 years ago in 2020, customers across various sectors have started not only embracing technology in a big way, but their expectations from companies have also grown considerably. And there is this trend, like you said in your earlier response, towards digital, connected in the automotive industry, connected cars or ADAS. Research also indicates that the pandemic has further accelerated move to digital. So in the light of this, over the last 2 years, how is your business, getting impacted, and have you sort of reshuffled your key priorities in terms of solving your business problems?
Excellent question, Vaishali. So let's talk about the example you were talking about: ADAS, autonomous driving, connected cars. I think cloud computing and data are the most important players in these, right? Connected vehicles will continue to evolve at an exponential rate, let's just say that. And with the kind of communication with vehicle to everything, V2X, the estimate is that about 5 terabyte of data gets generated from a connected vehicle every day. Fully autonomous vehicles, I don't know, 40, 45 terabytes, right? Now, where would you do this data management, hyperscale computation, the tremendous analytics and analysis and insights that you need to draw from this data? That's where the cloud computing comes in big time, right? This is where you solve your problems. The combination, the complementary nature of cloud and edge computing that enables these fast decision making with all this data. Cloud also allows you to develop some unique features that otherwise were not possible. Provide faster validation. We can talk about digital twins, right? That helps you shorten your development cycles for vehicles or other industries as well. And of course, that translates into cost and time, always. Now, that is the one side of it. Let's talk about changing customer experience, even on how you buy car. How do yes, the car is very, very tech savvy and it's smart. I these days say everything is smart around you, right? Everything is generating so much data around you. But how the customers want to buy, the experience of buying and owning a vehicle is also changing, right?
Yes.
And that's where your comment about COVID has changed those expectations tremendously. It has changed how we work. It has changed how we buy, right? How we consume all the services. So that is also so important. And this is where comes in the customer experience we talked about. From front to back, it has gone through a metamorphosis. To say, earlier you'd only go into the dealership and then you find out about car and how does it drive and what are the features and all that. Long gone are the days. Before I ever set foot there, I know just about everything about that car, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes I don't even want to do a test drive. I bought my car without doing a test drive.
Yeah.
So now that experience, how you enable, that's where I believe the agility, the scalability, the flexibility of cloud has come in and changed the game.
Absolutely. It gives me goosebumps, Rucha, to see how our country has evolved. Forget 70 years of independence. Let's just talk about the last 2 to 3 years and how it has changed people's perceptions, right? I mean, you have 80-year-old grandmothers now, very, very active on being able to not just transact on WhatsApp, but to buy things on e-commerce. You have this next generation, which, like you said, I don't even want to go to the showroom. I put on some VR headset. I know what the car looks like, and I'm happy to spend, a couple of lakhs, maybe 1 year's income to just book that car. And people are carrying their digital experiences from their apps, whether it's a Swiggy or an Amazon or a Zomato or a Paytm, and they carry that into their lives and say, if I can buy this on an app, I can buy a car. So how consumer behaviors are changing, and what we all need to do to keep our customers engaged, give them the great experience, use data to generate insights, and make sure that there's no dilution in their experience just because they're going from a showroom onto an app. And it really keeps organizations, on their toes to be able to deliver such a flawless experience. Absolutely. Because the bar just seems to be raised, every day.
Correct. And how do I service my vehicle? How do I call you to repair it or a regular service? I think another point that comes to my mind is about customers are also very conscious about the companies who care about sustainability.
Yes.
And cloud surely brings the carbon emission down for us. So that is also quite an important aspect.
Absolutely. I think that's also a very key imperative for us, building sustainable data centers. Today, if I'm not mistaken, over 80% of the power that we generate comes from sustainable sources. Our plan is, I think, by 2028 or even earlier, I think by 2025, set ourselves a goal to be carbon neutral. So I think it's just like a flywheel. It's a win-win situation, collaborating with our customers to, of course, reach your sustainability goals. I'll move on to my next question, Rucha. I think we spoke a little bit about this already, that benefits of moving to cloud, non-debatable, agility, scalability, reduced costs, etc. But I think the key piece that we are grappling today, and I'm sure you will empathize with this, is that the industry faces a skill gap of almost 1 million, professionals on cloud skills. That's expected to grow to 2.23 million. How do you, what are your thoughts, and how do you plan to address this important issue, both while hiring and retaining talent?
Very true, very true. Surely very exciting times of all that is going on in technology, but the talent gap is real. There's definitely a pent-up demand. Everybody has recognized the importance of having digital aspects of business taken care of quickly, post-COVID especially. And as the sectors that were struggling a little bit economically, they're also coming out of it and getting into it with double passion. I'd say it's a three-pronged approach for us. One is, yes, hiring at all levels and providing the training and the skill set that is required for this. And we partner with you and our other partners to do this, whether it is boot camps and workshops and continuous learning. I think that's the other thing. For existing team members as well, our current team members, right? I always say that technology is such an equalizer. If you're not staying up to date, you're obsolete in a year, maybe 2 years. So that's a learning culture. It's a constant thing for us that we continue to do that. The other, I believe, the advantage we have, and compensations are going nuts in the market. Let's face it, right? That does play one part, but I think the culture, the inclusive environment, and the kind of work you get to do, the new, exciting, innovative things you get to do, and with the kind of diverse industries that Mahindra is part of, you get to experience so many different industries as well, right? So I think these are some of the things that is about hiring and retaining talent for us. But I would say the talent gap is real, but continuous learning and investing in our teams is the name of the game.
Absolutely.
With the inclusive environment, the just cutting edge and super cool work that we do.
Absolutely. I think +1 to that. And, we're also doing a lot of work around talent and training. We've taken a really lofty goal of training, I think close to 9 million people in India on cloud skills. We are working. Also, we've learned that, the war for talent is real and it's going to be ongoing. So we're trying to work at the entry level and see, can we go to colleges and work with them and train them and get them excited about cloud, and then get them on board and really create that talent pool and not rely on existing talent, because that talent will just go sort of from one organization to the other. So how do we broaden the pool and catch them young and help them grow, is what I like to call it.
Absolutely. We just did a hackathon, and I was super excited to see 20,000 plus people participated. And it was or 20,000 plus registered, some 8,000 plus participated, and it was just so fantastic to see the fresh young talent sort of getting into the pipeline, and it's exciting to see that.
Yeah, phenomenal. Some really, really sharp kids getting into the workforce, and hopefully we can groom them on their talent skills and they will go on to do great stuff. So Rucha, my last question to you before we wrap up for today is, what advice would you like to give younger women taking up technology as their career choice?
First of all, you just heard about the talent gap. So come on in. That's the first thing, right? Really great employment awaits. See, I think technology is the most competitive and transformative aspect of any business right now. So if you're planning to make a career in technology, also remember that you're not bound to any particular industry now. everything is about technology,
Yeah.
right? So that's the world is your playground. And if I talk about just on a lighter note, you want to travel the world, become a tech consultant, right? You want to have leadership roles, absolutely, tech is your game. And it is not, as I mentioned, it is not just about being super technical. There are so many roles, and especially you are an example yourself to have a great career in it. One advice I would tell you: never stop learning. That's a given. And B, find a good mentor that you look up to, whose career you admire. And it'll certainly help, because it'll help you navigate. It is still, I still don't think there are enough women in the industry. So find someone who will help you navigate this if you feel you're stuck somewhere.
Absolutely. So I think well said, Rucha. I couldn't have summarized it better. Never stop learning, be curious, keep your knowledge updated, particularly in this world when things are changing so fast and there are so many things to distract you. Do invest in your own knowledge and in your own learning. And I love the point about a mentor or a sponsor. I don't think I had one when I started working. I didn't know what the power of a mentor or a sponsor. Yes. So definitely get one, either identify one at work, outside work. I think whatever works for you. And sure. I guess most importantly, like we always like to say, Rucha, that for the world to make more progress, you need technology, because today technology is changing the world. Like you said, you may be in certain vertical, horizontal industry. The common factor behind the success of any organization is, CEOs say that, right? I'm only as good as my technology backbone. Otherwise, yes. I don't know what I'm going to do. And in order to create a better world driven by technology, we need more women in technology. So we get a more diverse perspective, because technology can be a great enabler, but technology does what you tell it to do. And unless we feed it diverse opinions of men and women. So honestly, I think, like you said, the need for women in tech today is perhaps far more than it was 10 years ago, because technology is changing the world. And if women don't have a voice, we won't be able to change the world enough.
Absolutely. My take is that you're not designing technology for only part of the world or part of the population. Yes. You're designing technology where men and women exist everywhere equally. And you need all those perspectives to design the right things, to produce the right things, for the right solutions. So absolutely, I think fight your own biases as well.
Yeah.
It's good not point. Just that others have biases. We have biases about ourselves, our capacity, our capabilities. And at a young age, we got to fight that.
Absolutely.
For young girls, don't say that you got to paint.
Absolutely.
It's totally okay to come and break some electronics and put it together.
plus one on that. And I think really great place to summarize is, start fighting your own biases first. And it's a lot about the mental block that girls or women create for themselves in their own mind. So before you get an opportunity to go out and fight your own biases. And there's nothing that, girls and women in tech can't achieve. So
yes, never underestimate yourself. Never
absolutely. Thank you. And on that note, I want to thank you, Rucha, for taking the time out and coming to talk to our audiences. I personally always enjoy talking to you, and I hope to catch you live over a cup of coffee really soon.
Absolutely,
thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you for a great conversation, Vaishali.
Gets interesting. And why not? If there's so much to seek, it better gets interesting. Well, what a thought on cloud enabling businesses innovate. But what's next is what we all are waiting for. Let's get ready to witness the next thought leaders, tech discussions, and a whole sum of much more up next.